Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Most. In this series of tutorials, I'm going to teach you how you can create a React application, and I'm going to also teach you all the basics that you need in order to start creating complicated React applications. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video like this. And also check the description below because I have created a free ebook on how to make money online coding. And let's get started. The first thing that you need to know about React is that React is a JavaScript library, and it's used to create a single web page application, and it has many features. One of them is that it loads the page much faster than a normal JavaScript project. And by the way, React is being used and being managed by Facebook. The community of React is increasing each single day. The number of jobs is increasing, and there are now many jobs as React developers. So it's a great opportunity to start learning React. And in this series, I'm going to show you how you can start your path in React. So first of all, in order to create a React application, obviously you need to install React. And in order to install React, you have two ways, either by going to reactjs.org and then click on Get Started, and then scroll and then click on here. Click on this link, simple HTML page with script tags. And this is going to give you a simple guide. You don't have to read all of this. All you need to do is that you need to copy these codes here and also here and add them in your HTML page and start coding. Just start coding by just adding this starter code, and it will create a simple React component. The other way is by using Node.js, and I find it better because all you need to do is to type one command and it's gonna install React and do everything for you. So first of all, you need to, if you are going to use this method, you need to obviously install Node.js on your Mac or PC or Windows. Click on here on this version and it's gonna start downloading Node.js. I already have Node.js installed, so I'm gonna here cancel. And after you download Node, just open it and install it on your system. It's self-explanatory, nothing difficult here. All you need to do is to click on a few of next buttons and it's going to install Node for you. Next, you need to open your terminal if you are using Mac, if you are using Windows, and then the first thing that you need to do is that you need to go to the location where you want to create your application. So I'm going to create my application on my desktop. Therefore, I'm going to cd to desktop and then type the following command: npm init and then react-app and then the name of your application. I'm going to name it my app, and then hit enter, and this is going to start installing and creating your application for you, and it's going to take some time, probably 3 to 5 minutes, so be patient. So I'm going to pause until it's finished, and I'm going to come back once it's done. So once it's done, you will find that on my desktop there is the project, as you can see, my -app. We need now to open it in IDE, in a text editor or IDE. I'm using Visual Studio Code, therefore I'm going to open it in Visual Studio Code. So to open your project in Visual Studio Code, just drag your project, your folder, and drop it in Visual Studio Code, and it's going to open it. And as you can see, this is our React project. Let me now walk you through the most important folders. First of all, we have the node_modules, which contains node modules. And you will not work with it. You will not add any code by yourself here, so don't worry too much about this folder. The second folder is the public, which contains images and index.html, which is the main HTML that gets displayed in the browser once we run our application. So this is very, very important. This file is very important. Then we have the source. The source contains the JavaScript and CSS files that we need to create React components and React code. So this is the main structure of our project. Let me now run our project in the browser so that you can see what's happening and the starter code. So I'm going to open my terminal in Visual Studio Code and I'm going to type the following: npm and then start, and then hit enter, and this is going to start a local server and run our application, our React application, in that local server. So as you can see here, it says compiled successfully and it's running on this URL. You can copy it, or if it doesn't open automatically, you need to copy it and paste it in the browser. And as you can see now, I have this. This is our project being deployed to our local server, and this is the main page that we have. So this is the starter code for a React application. So now that we have a basic understanding of a React application, let me walk you through the most important things and also show you how components work. So here in the index.html, you'll find that we have a div, and this div has an ID of root. And this div is going to be the main div that's going to be used to inject our React component or components into that div that will be displayed in the browser. As you can see here in the browser, I'm running my local server. We have this page, and this page actually doesn't just represent this div. It represents components that React has created for us, and I'm going to show you where this component is. If you open your app, if you open first your index.js, you'll find that here we have React DOM.render, and then we have here app. For now, forget about React strict mode. You need to think about this app. This app actually renders this page. It provides this page and displays this page. But where is these components? Where are the image, this image, and this text? I can't see them here. Where are they? Well, this app represents what's called a component. So this app represents a file here called app.js. As you can see, if you open the app.js, there is a function called app. It has exactly the same as the name of the file, function app, and this app function returns this HTML code which displays this page. As you can see, here we have edit source /app.js and save to reload, and here in the app.js in the HTML code we have edit source app.js and save to reload. So those tags are these tags, these tags display this page. And how does React inject these elements or these tags inside the HTML? It actually uses the document.getElementById root, and it injects this app, and this app represents and includes all of these tags. So it takes all of these tags and it injects them or pass them to the element that has an ID of root, which is this index.html div. As you can see, div root, it passed the code here. So this is a basic React application. It uses what's called a React component, and a React component will be passed using the document.getElementById root to the element that has the root that has an ID of root. So now that we have a basic understanding of a React application, let's now create our first component. But before I create any components, you need to know that a React application is nothing but a group of components. So in a typical web application, you will have maybe a header, a footer, images, videos, maybe a sidebar. All of these elements can be represented by a component. And let's create our first component. For example, suppose that you want to create a button. In order to create a button component, you need to open your source. And in the source, you can create a new file, and then you need to name it the something meaningful. So a button component can be named my button or button. I'm going to name it button.js. And then in the button.js, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy the code from the app.js. I'm going to copy the complete code. And in the button.js, I'm going to paste the code. And I'm going to change what needs to be changed. Obviously, the name of the function must match the name of the file. So the name of the file is button.js. The function must be named button.js. And in the button, we need to export default button. Button, not app. We need to export the function that we have created here. And what we need to do here is that we need to remove all of this HTML code, because here we aren't going to return this page. Instead, we are going to return a button, because this is a button component. So in this div, I'm going to create a simple button element, simple button HTML tag here, and I'm going to say custom button, and that's it. Now we have created a component. But if you go to the browser, nothing will be displayed here. No button will be displayed here. Why? Because we have created the component, but we did not tell React to display this component. How can we tell React to display this component? Well, in the index.js, instead of displaying the app, we can remove this app and display the button, and that's it. But still, this is not going to work. If you go to the browser, nothing will be displayed. Why? Because we need to import the button class, the button file here. Import button from this directory, and then button, without the extension, without .js, only button. And JavaScript will automatically know that it's .js. Now if I save and go to the browser, guess what? The difference is that the button will be displayed. As you can see, got custom button. So this is how you can create your first component in React. And by the way, components, as I told you earlier, work together. So you can have this button component inside the app component. So if you remove the button from here and display the app, if you display the app again, you can display the button inside the app itself. So here, just below this A tag, I'm gonna here display the button component, and of course I'm gonna import it here. Import button from the same directory, and then button. This is going to take the button and display it inside the app component. Now in the browser, you should find that we have here a button. As you can see, this is the button that we have created. So components can be displayed together, can be together, or they can be displayed separately, can be added separately. But in typical React applications, we usually use components with in a big component, and we display smaller components inside that big component. In our application here, we have this app as the biggest component, and inside it we have many tags, and among these tags we have the button component, which displays this button. I have created a button component let's add some styles to it. How can we add styles to a component in React? In order to do that, we use a keyword called class name. Camel case, not just class, because the class keyword is already reserved by JavaScript. Therefore, we need to use the class name. And then we pass the name of the class that we want to use. I'm gonna create a class called btn. And where should we create this class? This class can be created in the app.css, because here we imported the app.css, which includes all of our CSS code. So in the app.css, I'm going to create a class here called .btn, and I'm going to add my styles. Suppose that I want to give this button a background color of blue and a text color white, and also some padding of 5px, also font weight bold, and also font size 15, and that's it. Let me now save and go to the browser and refresh. As you can see, now I have this button styled very well, custom button, and it has this background color blue, and the color is white, the text color is white. I can also add margin 5px, and this is going to add margins to the button. As you can see, now there is some space between this button and the Learn React word here. I can add 15 instead of 5 to show you that I can increase the padding, and it works. So if you want to add styles to a component in React, you have to use the keyword, the class name keyword, and then equals to the class that you want to pass, and then you create the class in the app.css. And by the way, you can here give it more than one class. So for example, you can here say button and then space and create another class, maybe another class that has something to do with, let's say, the border. We can say here border underscore button, and in the app.css I can create here a class called btn underscore border underscore btn, and I can here border radius, let's say 25%, and let me now save. And in the browser you'll find that now it has this shape. It's a little bit different. So this is how you can create more than class and also pass it and apply it to an element or a component in a React application.